Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to go over part 2 of the NHL 22 Hockey Ultimate Team wish list. If you haven't watched part 1, go and take a look. It's my 5 things that I think should be implemented in NHL 22. But I wanted to make a follow-up video following all of your guys' comments, a lot like what I do with Who Should You Choose. So I thought today I'm going to go through about 20 straight minutes. There's about 160 comments, guys. I'm just going to go from whoever commented first and up. And if I can't get to everyone, I'm going to try and maybe do a second part 2 video because, again, the game doesn't improve unless you guys give us the feedback as game changers to then relay. And if there's something that keeps coming up, then I get a better sense and also provides just a lot of great talking points. All right, guys, that being said, also, please subscribe to the channel, guys. Almost at 26,000 subs on YouTube. Trying to grind it out here. Get to 30K. All right, let's get into it. All right, we'll start first with Kobe. If Chell was like, I'm going to read them all. I haven't read them, guys. If Chell was like 2K with my player, I think I would never stop playing, not related to HUT, but still, I talked about this. We'll talk about ESHL and whatnot in the future. I think 2K is one of the best when it comes to, obviously, individual player games where you're like World of Chell. All right, from Rigor, he says, to be able to message the seller for trade offers and be able to take down items in the auction house if no bid. Okay, I definitely think that you should be able to message the seller. The one thing I think that, again, I'm going to give you guys the background. If I see something and I can explain it that just isn't explained because, again, I get to see behind the scenes as a game changer, I'll try and do that. So for this one specifically, this helps with a lot of coin selling and market manipulation and things like that. When they removed the ability to actually see who is selling it, that's when, it's not as easy to be like, hey, I put this card up, go and take a look, here's my team name. You've got to, it's a lot harder process to do. Do I think you should be able to message the seller in a trade offer? Absolutely. It'd be much more effective if in a trade offer, if they're going to keep that in the game, to be able to say, hey, are you looking at trades? If so, here are the cards that I think that I could also include in a trade. Let me know. Then you can open up a dialogue, and it would make trading a lot better. I agree. Pat D on the thing, there's zero chance they would let anyone take down an item in the auction house. On card releases, it would be a race to the bottom for where the cheapest one posted. The auction house would absolutely tank. So the second part of this is take down auctions once you put them up. I agree with Pat that it would be a really big race to the bottom. However, in MLB, you're allowed to do it. The market is just so different in MLB, and I don't know if it's better. I think that it's snappier. Like, it's a lot easier to make money. But the sheer volume of stuff up there is just so much higher. However, yeah, I think it'd be the same thing. It would be, the second a card comes out, it would just be everyone throwing up the cheapest card, and it would really bring down the price. But is that really a bad thing, if you think about it? Making every card a lot cheaper and more obtainable might not be a terrible thing. Anyways. My man Jordan, all right, one of my most loyal viewers and subs, my man. Thank you for the comment. Oh my God, this is a video I've been waiting for. I've nearly tapped out. I have all my coins and GC saved up for a favorite player or master item. I think we all are, buddy. I would love player upgrades based on goals, assist points, accumulated. I talked about that in my last video. That's what the parallel system is. That is my number one thing I think needs to be added in not just NHL, every Ultimate Team mode game needs it. It's just such an incredible feature. I 1000% agree. I have been talking about this since I became a game changer in NHL 18. I would love to put synergies with players I would actually like to use. So, I am also an advocate for being able to have like some sort of crafting or synergy thing to put onto cards. The danger you run into with NHL is that the way that hockey is played, as opposed to, I'm going to use MLB as a lot of my examples here. With MLB, there is so many more aspects of the game individually that are impacted by attributes. I'll take fielding, for example. Later in a game, if you're trying to hold down, the last run, you might have someone on your bench that has, 99 fielding across the board. That way, it has some value. He might be a terrible hitter. He might have unbelievable speed, and he's a great fielder, but that carries value. In NHL, if he's got 80 speed and no shot, but he's unbelievable on the faceoffs and maybe has high body checking, that has such a low importance. It's all skating and then shooting, and unfortunately, that's very difficult. And when you add synergies on top of it, what would end up happening, like what happens every year, there's one or two synergies that rain out, and then you would just end up having a rush to put that synergy on every card. What I would say, though, is there should be no skating synergies, okay? Or maybe if there is, you're allowed to put them on certain cards, maybe ones that have awful skating. But that would be something like I would love. I'll use this as an example. Cale Makar this year, his cards not very good when you look at them from a defensive standpoint, like in their own zone. He's under 6 foot, but they gave him a ton of gladiator and shut down, those kind of things that raise body checking. And his body checking got so high, almost up to 99 early on, that you never notice the fact that he was 5'11" because his body checking was so high to make up for it. And like that would be something great to be able to off balance. I would like more rewards / packs where I know I'm going to get something. I mentioned that as well. Guaranteed rewards in a Hockey Ultimate Team is just, I don't know the model that they went through here this year. We're starved for guaranteed content. And I think that it's one of the biggest things and biggest downfalls of NHL this year. I would like more packs. Oh, I'm sorry. Not as expensive master set players. I just want to play. I think the more available players are the more variety teams could have. Could be wrong, though. Yeah, it's all relative, I guess, but the later in the year, there definitely needs to be a lower scale, like a smaller scale, or even the same. Like, if you think about it, early on in the year, it costs, 6 or 7 gold collectibles? I don't remember off the top of my head. Much lower to make Miro Heiskanen and Panarin, okay? But those are the top-end cards in the game. That Miro Heiskanen was so far and away the best left-handed defenseman in the game that he was on everyone's team for 3 or 4 months, okay? You contrast that by 2 months later, you have Master Set items costing double that, but the other cards that you've been able to acquire have slowly caught up. So while there's this big disconnect that, hey, yeah, a 99 overall item should cost this, you have to keep into account that how late in the year we are and that those cards aren't insanely better than what we've already got. Like, if you go from event to event, let's say the NHL style icons to the moments, if there was 2 more or 3 more gold collectibles required for a 1 or 2 more overall increase, it makes no sense because the cards were just, only slightly better. So I agree with you there. The other option would be give us more gold collectibles. Throw it in a weekly objective set, something. Give us a guarantee. If you play the game for a week or you log in for 7 straight days, gold collectible. More stats for the players I've used, almost a franchise stats board, and carryover stats when I upgrade a player. Would love that, man. There is, I don't understand why when you get rid of a player and then you put him back on, it disappears. I agree. I would love to see a start to finish franchise, how early on in the year the cards that you use, that would be sick. Now, I'm assuming that would require a ton of server-based memory allotted to it. Oh, my goodness. That would be cool. Use whatever jersey I want home and away for hut squads. I play a crap ton and I can't use the home jersey. I don't understand that one. I think that hopefully next year you can use, and I'm pretty sure they talked about it, but yeah, using your home jersey would be something that they're looking at, I think. That would be awesome. Yeah, number 5 sucks when we upgrade a player that loses his stats. It should be the player's name that holds his stats, even if he hasn't played or X amount of game, for example. That would be sweet. I agree. That would be really cool. All right, T-Man, edit. I'm going off of your points. All right, here we go. Some of these are really long, guys. That's why I'm going to keep this video 20, 25 minutes just for, people not being able to pay attention. I might do more of these, okay? Rivals need to stop giving the underdog the upper hand, scoring on easy shots. AI goalies need to learn from their goals. If I have a 94 goalie, you should be able to learn the cross crease or the short side top corner. I don't want to get into gameplay stuff. I kind of heavily disagree with this kind of ideal. I think that you're kind of making excuses for not being able to play defense a certain way or stop a certain thing. But I agree that there are some times you have 4 minutes time on attack and someone else has 20 and the 4 minutes time on attack wins. To be honest, man, sometimes that's just hockey, which is unfortunate because in a video game it's X's and O's. You don't want that. But you have to remember the game that we're playing. It's brutal in that sense. Hockey is very, very unforgiving in that sense. Rivals rewards. EA needs to stop taking your rank away. Have it set and don't change. I only have so many hours to play, and when I see it dropped 2 ranks. So you're talking about making rivals cumulative, but you have to understand your rank isn't dropping. Oh, you're saying once you hit a rival's rank, that would mean that there's benchmarks I'm okay with benchmarks, like say hit 15,000 rivals points, you're in platinum, but actually that might be an interesting idea, as opposed to the relative in terms of base of your competition. Huh. I didn't even think of that, because if ultimate is a certain amount of points, you'd be rewarding people who are actually winning games as opposed to just playing at a time. That I like. I think we stumbled upon something here. I don't know if that was your initial idea, but I actually, yes. Okay. I like that idea. 3, Hut Champs rewards. It should be more for everyone, not just the best players. If you play X amount of games, you should be able to get good / pull a card. Disagree heavily here. If you cheapen Hut Champs loses its prestige. Hut Champs is supposed to be the most difficult competition that we have in our game. Okay, if you give everyone a participation award in Hut Champs, that reduces the your again prestige for being able to hit off 18, 19 wins against the best players in the world. Hard disagree there. However, I think that there should be more guaranteed rewards up until a certain point. Like if you can get top 200, you should be able to get a guaranteed card, in my opinion. In all honesty, Rivals is where you should spend most of your time if you can't get top 500, and improve your gameplay there. Once you get into top, divisions 2 and 3, Hut Champs is not for everyone. That's the thing that you got to remember. Better matchups. So many times I'll play against someone way better than me, score 5 goals in the first 10 minutes. That's Rivals, man. I don't disagree with any. I'm not trying to crap on your recommendations and whatnot. I'm just giving you the opposite thinking here. So better matchups. The reason why Rivals is so difficult is because it hard matches you against your skill. So it really tries to limit the range of what you're matching. So if you're in Division 3, you're more than likely going to play someone in Division 3. Now, what that ends up doing is that skill-based matchmaking, it keeps you at 500, meaning that you could rattle off 5 straight wins, but then you're going to be like, oh, I got to go up against someone in Division 2, and it's going to rifle you off a few straight losses to keep you where you are. The only way to improve is to change your gameplay mechanically, and that's what a lot of my videos try to do. It's very frustrating because it's a video game, and you don't want to sweat and have these constant battles all the time, but that's why it is the way it is. Like, you're looking for easier games, and Rivals isn't going to give you that once you hit your plateau. You got to get better at the game, and unfortunately, I don't agree with having to sit down, you work a full day's work and get your ass kicked in a game. I don't agree that should be the thing all the time, but that's just how Rivals works. Win streak rewards. Again, the matches need to be fair. It should also be available for squad battles. Not everyone likes online games. I prefer squad battles because I can pulse the game and watch replays, or pause the game. Have the same rewards for offline and online gamers, but there has to be some limits. I can play maybe 30 hours a week, but the gamers that play 30 a day should get the same rewards at the end of the week. Okay. I like the win streak rewards. That I think is awesome. I don't know how that would play in offline. What you'll end up happening and what you'll end up getting is that online players will then grind out offline game modes, and more than likely they will dominate offline, and that will push the people who just like to play offline down in the rankings. You have to understand that when you give someone good rewards, no matter what the game mode is, rewards will drive the engagement for the most part, especially in NHL, because no one likes playing anything other than online or squad battles. Like, those are the two parallels. And again, I think that this game lacks things I think this game really has a lack of rewarding the players that grind out the game. Like, if you don't have 30 hours in a week, totally understandable. You shouldn't fall that far behind the 8 ball, okay? 100% agree. But the guys that grind the game out 30 hours a day, you can't hold that against them. They're putting in the work to grind out their team. Maybe they're GWC hopefuls, right? They should be rewarded for that. And right now, unless you get top 20 champs, you're not getting... The only thing you're getting rewarded is more packs, and that doesn't mean anything. So, I don't know. Daily rewards need to be rewards, not just a waste of time. I agree. Player growing. When you get a favorite player, you want to keep him on your team. He'll grow with it. That's what I talked about. Parallels, 100% agree. Synergies, movable, can buy trade synergies, but you have a limit on your team. Team has team-based. I agree. Something like that. That is what I agree with. There has to be some sort of... With speed, though, I think that would be a really big issue. Oh, my goodness. Okay, I'm going to go on to the next one because you've got a lot of good points, but I want to move on to some other questions. Yeah, it's Big Mark. I actually like the fact you earn points in Rivals. Oops. I actually like the fact you earn if you lose. I think they need to add an inning program like MLB so you feel like you're earning something just playing. I agree, 100%. I don't think that you should, guys, sorry, maybe I didn't explain this. I don't think that you should earn points, or you should not earn points for a loss in Rivals, but you have to make a win mean a lot more, is all I'm saying. So I talked about this with adding a leaderboard in Rivals. That gives you something to work for and a reason to win, and earning more points. So a lot like that person down below recommended, having ranks be a plateau that you have to hit. If you only can get to Ultimate if you win a majority of your games, which I think is a much better process than what's happening now. But yeah, like an inning program like they have in MLB would be phenomenal. But like I said, you need to get points for losing in Rivals. I 100% agree with that, man. 100% agree. Battle Pass systems. Well, let me see this. Battle Pass systems, and each level you get coins, packs, players. Yeah, like I don't think this model would work. Like I said, I think what my Rivals idea was to make it 2 weeks long and coincide with the event that's going on would kind of be that. But if you go that route, you'd really reduce the value in the prior season if the next season comes out and all these rewards that you can attain really quickly would just eliminate the past ones. I think that'd be a bad idea. From Elor, he says, I think I'd like to see something for Hut offline players. I can't afford PS Plus, so I'm limited to Hut Rush and Squad Battles. Maybe a new offline mode for offline players to play. Yeah, Omega nails it on the head here. There's already a Be a Pro franchise mode, shootout, playoff and create a team. Yeah, like if you're talking about for Hockey Ultimate Team, I don't know what how else would you play? Like what, I don't really know what you would add for Hut. I'm taking a look here. Yeah, I'm not really sure what you could add that would not be like more offline stuff. Like Hut Rush and Squad Battles is, well, it's not a ton. I just don't know what other stuff you could like. It'd be like, I think you're looking for like no, because that's online. I'm not sure, man. If you have an idea of what you should add, I would love to hear it. I'd love to see more from Omega. I'd love to see more developed customization system, whether it be in Create a Team, Franchise, Be Your Pro mode. There's something like 2K's customization bring a lot more players to these modes. Also, if they could make the modes like Franchise and Be a Pro an online experience, it'd be way more playable and entertaining. Love the vids. Keep it up. So, 100%. Customizing your arena, your jerseys, your goal horn, all of that. I would love to see that in Hut. And that would definitely bring a lot more value to picking your barn and all of that. Imagine if you got, if you were able to finish Ultimate and Rivals or something, maybe you got a banner, or maybe you placed top 20 in Hut Champs and you hung a banner. Like that would be awesome to see. From Zach, have the Hut team play MLB The Show. Hut becomes the best Ultimate Team mode if they take half the ideas. While I agree, not everything translates, but yes, what MLB did this year outside, their server issues are absolute garbage, and it's inexcusable in MLB. The one thing I will say that MLB did an awful disservice to was players that don't just play Diamond Dynasty. MLB this year is what happens if you put all of your resources into Ultimate Team and ignore everything else. And the first thing that you guys are going to say is, yo, but there's Road to the Show in franchise mode. Let me enlighten you here. Road to the Show, the only thing that they added in was your ability to put your Road to the Show character in Diamond Dynasty, thus driving you from an offline mode to subconsciously try and get you into Diamond Dynasty. Franchise mode, you say. Well, they added March to October, which essentially gets you Diamond Dynasty team affinity points and rewards in Diamond Dynasty. They really didn't add anything to franchise mode this year, and it's been hammered online by people that don't like playing Diamond Dynasty. So while I 100% agree, when you put all your resources into an Ultimate Team mode, that is what gives you the best user engagement, because that's what our generation and what our now player base just really wants, unfortunately. Like, I know a lot of people don't like Ultimate Team modes because of it's pay to win, all that stuff. It's really the most fun when you get down to it. Everyone that used to play 1v1 and Versus and whatnot, imagine being able to play that, but now you can build your own teams and stuff like that and work towards rewards. So, It's the evolution of sports gaming. And while MLB has done a terrific job on their content and the actual game mode itself, the servers have been a joke. However, they are the first sports game to make cross-platform. Got to give them props for that. But the other modes outside of it, NHL's franchise mode, if NHL was to add roster sharing, it has the best franchise mode among any sports game. And that's crazy if you think about it. Now, I don't know if we'll ever get roster sharing, but if it ever comes, that's phenomenal because the actual game mode itself isn't that bad at all. It's actually really good. And we just got a new Be a Pro. Be a Pro in NHL is still better than Road to the Show because after the first season of the Road to the Show, it's just really bland. It is literally designed now to get you to play Diamond Dynasty. However, Be a Pro needs some work and longevity, but it's really good in where it's at, in my opinion. Zagger Mod. Agree with everything on this list. Another thing that would be great for NHL is a level system rewards similar to MLB or Madden. When you get rewarded for just simply playing the game and something to grind for in the background. Another thing is having an alternate currency that you get from playing the game and having a series matter. A different section of the store where you can only use the currency to have a master grind towards or packs or cycles every 2 or so months. So yeah, Madden does this. Adding a currency requires a lot of it's very dangerous. You have to understand that the market, they do a ton of research and watching of the market to make sure that things don't collapse and things like that by adding in a ton of top end cards. And I think they were too careful this year. However, that being said, I think that maybe not another currency, but definitely something that you can grind for in the background, just by playing the game. If you're someone who plays HUT and ESHL, it'd be cool if they were just unified. Imagine you could go from level 1 to 50, okay? And at level 45, you get these golden ESHL skates that you can use in ESHL. But at level 41, or, the very next level, you get a 89 overall Elias Pettersson. That would be awesome. And it would make a lot more inclusion in the mode. You drive a lot of people to go from ESHL to HUT and HUT to ESHL, which I think is a great idea. Kyler James, Ace Sleeves. How do you feel about Synergies? Personally, I don't mind them as it adds complexity to team building, but it does hinder who you can use as your team build. Should they keep it in the same for next year, modify it less limiting, or move it entirely of the content? Synergies are very tough in HUT. So this is one of the biggest debates that we have year in, year out in the Game Changer chat. Because obviously someone who plays the game a ton, when they release content, while they're really well versed in the content they're releasing, they might not know the meta of the game and how everyone is playing it and how it's skewing. You take a look at Guy Lafleur, for example. When you release him at the game without, maybe having... It would just take a few players that play the game hundreds of hours or thousands of hours a season to know that, hey, that Guy Lafleur is going to be overpowered, and you need to be careful with that card. Because you gave him Speedster, he's already got max speed, and early on in the game, that's just overpowered. I think Synergies are great for team building, but it is really, by playing MLB, and again, I'm going to make a lot of comparisons to that, I like using the players I like, and it's really frustrating to not be able to use any Sharks, for an example, because they don't have Synergies or there isn't any top-end cards. Now, obviously, they're not an elite team, but I haven't been able to use a Logan Couture card for a while because I have a top-end team, and that's my own fault. I could go ahead and use him, but I try and play as competitive as possible. So without those high-end Synergies, it's kind of tough. So, we'll have to see, but I'm not really sure. I think they should be in the game, but yeah, we'll see. All right, crossplay, or at least the auction must be cross-platform. This game needs it. NHL needs it more than any other franchise in the industry. I'm not talking about sports games. I mean, any video game ever made, NHL needs it more than any other game. It's not a big... And again, that EA people not enjoying the game is obviously going to impact it, but it's a hockey problem. Hockey is the smallest of the pro sports in North America. It's always going to be behind Madden and FIFA no matter what. Madden could put out a garbage game. NHL could put out an unbelievable game, and it still won't be close in numbers. So when you fracture the consoles, it makes it even harder. If you can combine them, that makes the gameplay experience far better. So, all right, guys, so I'm going to stop it here. It's about 25 minutes. I'm going to stop at Kyle Johnston. I didn't get through a lot of comments. I apologize. A lot of you guys had some good ideas, and I really like the idea of going through this video and we're going to go all the way through. I think these comments are really fun. So maybe I make this a little bit of a series and we go a couple videos. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I appreciate the feedback. There's some things here like that Rivals plateau instead of it being a rolling percentage of the player base. I really like that idea, for example. But yeah, again, this really helps. But guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel and come check me out live on Twitch. I stream every day now at noon Eastern time every single day. So come hang out on Twitch. And yeah, we're playing a lot of MLB, NHL, maybe some Tarkov lately. We'll see. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.